welcome to episode something of Knit the Books. It's been a minute, but we're back.
We're back. It has been a minute. It's been a lot going on, and I'm just going to mention this one time. I want to thank everyone. Allie and I thank you so much for all the words of comfort and the thoughts and prayers that you've given us. Since my sister passed away unexpectedly, we're doing as well as could be expected, and life does go on. But thank you very much. We appreciate all your thoughts.
Thank you guys for checking in and sending messages. We really appreciate it. And thank you again for understanding that we were just going to take a break, which Mom and I, neither one of us have really been knitting anyway. So even if we felt up to doing this, we didn't really have much content. And because we don't really have much content, we thought this would be a good time to do our WIP it or rip it that we haven't done.
Right.
So I guess we'll just jump in, if that's okay.
It is okay. Scott and I have also moved. We moved to a 3-bedroom, and I don't know where all my WIPs are, so I have very few to talk about, but I do have some. So
I didn't bring all of mine just because my back was full already, so I brought some of them, and everything that I mentioned will be in my profile page, or my project page. So if there's something I mentioned, you're like, oh, I don't remember that. If you want to, it's there. But so I am going to mention it even if I didn't have it. But it's just been a crazy couple months. Mom moved. I found out. I'll go ahead and tell you guys. I found out today that I am going to be starting a new job, going along with my current job, so I'm about to be a little bit busier, but we just had a fun, crazy couple months. So
yeah, because the last time we podcast, I was probably in training for.
Yeah, you started your new job.
I had started my new job, and I have been out actually. Somebody had actually asked what a success coach is. So what that is pretty much an advisor. We call ourselves advisors on steroids. As soon as a student is admitted to the school, they are, as a new student, a new freshman, a transfer, or a readmit, they get assigned a success coach. Mm-hmm. And what we do is we work with them. We are their point of contact for everything. We help them with their missing admission requirements, with their missing financial aid requirements, if their file gets selected for verification, we help them get all their documents into the financial aid office to get that taken care of. Then we advise them and we help them get registered, and we get them signed up for other things that they need to do. I absolutely love it. So I'm very happy. I have to work it's a full-time job, but I work my full-time hours in 4 days, so I'm off every Friday, which I absolutely am loving.
I bet.
Yeah.
I do half days usually on Friday because I work over so much, so I can't imagine having a full Friday. Yeah. And I guess I wasn't going to say what mine is, but I guess I could. So my sister does this, and my best friend from elementary school also does it, so that's how I found out about it. But it is an online job through WIP Kid, teaching English to kids in China. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and the hours are very, very early in the morning or very, very late in the evening to coincide when they're not sleeping and when they're not at school. So I'm just going to try and do it before work, but I'm going to be starting my master's back up soon, and I wanted something. So if I did end up needing to take some time off or scale back my work at my physical job, I would have some supplemental income coming in, and it sounded fun. And I feel like I've been needing a challenge in work, and so I don't know. I think Max says that I just want to be busier. So
I don't know. I know somebody that does it too, and she says it's lots and lots of fun.
It looks fun. So, and in a way, you're contracted through them, so you you make your own hours. You work days you can, work days you can't. So, yeah. But, so I guess that's our update.
That's our update.
So, we'll get into knitting now. So, I'm just going and grab things by random. This is a Freckled Whimsy bat. Yes. Right? Yes, Freckled Whimsy bag. I don't know why. I'm out of practice. And in it is this little hat that I was knitting. I know you guys have seen it, but this is just a little hat that I'm just knitting up on my own. It's a little slip stitch hat. On this side, I have my Knit the Books stitch marker from, what is her name? Her name's Mary Jo, but I just went blank on her shop name. Well, I don't have anything in here.
Just put in the show notes.
Yeah, I'm probably not, I'm just gonna be honest, I'm probably not gonna do show notes, but I will put it in the description on YouTube. The yarn is from Savvy Skeins. It is the Toxic Pony colorway, which I love. This is definitely going to be something that I'm gonna continue knitting. I think I could probably finish it in a weekend if I would just sit down and knit it. So, and I've actually knit 2 times this week, which is the best I've done since we last recorded. So, well, maybe not, but yeah. So this is definitely going to be continue knitting for me.
Okay. Well, you know, when you move, you find all kinds of things. So this is a sock, and I'm almost done with it. What is the yarn? You remember?
Yeah, you almost hit me with that needle.
I'm sorry.
It's More Than Words.
More Than Words. It's a Dana Unwind Yarn Company. I love the colors. I love it. It's going to be a really nice warm sock. I will finish this pair of socks, so that's going to be a keep it.
Let me see. Let me grab another one. In my other Freckled Whimsy bag, I have what I've been knitting on this week. I started a fluid beanie.
I love that yarn.
Which you guys know I love. I've knit Max 2, and I'm finally knitting me one. This is that Woolen Boon yarn, which I think when we last recorded, Mom and I showed off our skeins.
Mm-hmm.
This is Dancing at a Funeral, and I have knit this week.
It's very pretty.
So, which I feel like is pretty good considering it's been a minute. So we had a all-day training on Wednesday this past week for work, and so I knew that I would want knitting for that, and I knit a big chunk of that there. I knit a decent chunk today because I went to local knitting thing today. So
yeah, we went up with the girls and had coffee and knitted a little this morning.
So again, another keep for me. Let me do a couple.
Yes,
like I said, I'll do one that I didn't bring with me. The Entrelac cowl. Now I rewatched the episode yesterday or the day before just to see which ones I had on there, because I know whenever we talked about it I was like, well, if I haven't knit on this by the time we do this again, I'm going to go ahead and rip it out anyway. I haven't knit on that Entrelac cow. However, I am going to keep it because I figured out who that would be a perfect gift for, and that was going to be her Christmas present last year, but then I found something else and I got it for her instead, so it's going to be her Christmas present this year. So I just need to finish it, but it has a home now, and that makes me actually excited to knit it again. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking once I get my groove back with knitting, I might do that because it would be a good pattern to challenge me on, because it's not really a challenge because I've done it before, but it's been a minute. But it would be a little bit more challenging than just plain stockinette. So I am going to keep that one.
Cool.
And let me do another one that I didn't bring. Oh, I'll just go ahead and do my socks that I didn't bring that I'm going to keep. My Whiz Bang socks, I'm going to keep those. I have the rainbow reindeer socks, the Whimsy Stitches Rock and String collab. I'm going to finish that one. And what were the other socks? Oh, my Knitty and Color socks, my mini skeins, I'm going to keep those.
Oh, I love those.
I think those are all my socks.
Cool.
I'm keeping them.
And finishing them.
They're going to get finished one day when I feel like knitting socks again.
Well, I was ashamed when I found this one. Look, it's ready. All I have to do is... Oh, me. All I have to do... It's even got an ink pen hung in there.
Oh.
But, yeah, all I have to do is graft this one together and it's done. Isn't it pretty? It's so
what
pretty.
Is it?
It's your... I don't know, Allison. Without a sound?
I think so. I don't know either.
It's Allie's Without a Sound.
Is it without a sound?
I don't know.
Yes, it has to be.
Yeah, it's your pattern.
Yeah, I know
and
it's my pattern.
Knitty and Color Autumn Afternoon. So it's really pretty. So yeah, I will definitely finish that one.
So I decided I'll go ahead and do my rips. Because I was going through and I haven't physically ripped them yet, but I took them off of my project page and they're going to be ripped. I decided that I no longer want to knit the Hue Shift Afghan. That is that rainbow kit from Knit Picks that a lot of people have knit. I really, really like the pattern. I finally realized though that we're not going to use a knitted blanket. We're not going to use it. And so I'm not going to knit that anymore. I'm going to rip it out. I'm going to use the yarn because I still have all the yarn. For Hats for Kiddos hats or for weaving. So that's gone. And then I also decided, this one was a hard one, but I decided to go ahead and do it. I'm going to rip out my Heartbreak by Lisa Mutt shawl. That was my really pretty shawl I showed in the last Whip It or Rip It. That was green, gold, and maroon. Or not maroon, it was just a deep red. I've decided that I'm not going to wear it. Even though I like the colors together, I'm not going to wear it. I don't wear those colors. So the red is going to become something, and the green and gold are going to become something. And I've already paired them with patterns. I just don't remember what they are off the top of my head. And those will be eventually probably become gifts, because those are just not colors I wear. Right. But I really do like the yarn, and I really like the Heartbreak pattern. And like I said,
it's just not your colors.
Yeah. So those are the only two that I'm ripping. So.
Well, of what I've got, I know I have a Pure Joy started somewhere that I have no idea where it is, and I want to find it because I actually bought the extra yarn to finish it, and I want to get it finished. But I do, the one thing I know I'm going to rip is this one. It's one of Allison's, what is the pattern, honey? Is it
Dazzle?
Dazzle. And it's the 2-color one, and I just not real crazy about... The yarn's pretty, but I'm just not real crazy about them together. So I will do the pattern. I will just do different yarn. I'm just... So that's going to be
That's kind of the point of this, though, so we can, you know, talk through and see which things we actually want to keep. I just remembered that I didn't know the name of one of the patterns I'm keeping, so I wanted to go ahead and have that ready. I don't know when I'm going to grab that bag, but... I am going to be keeping these. I know I talked about these last time. These are my Waiting for Winter mittens. I'm knitting them out of hand spun that I spun up from somebody that's no longer dying. 2F by Hand. That's their name. This is still the first mitten.
That's okay.
But yeah, so... And it's really warm now, so now I don't want to knit on it, because this is a very hot thing to knit.
But remember, you want to get them done before it gets cold next winter.
Yeah, but I probably won't want to start picking them up again until it starts getting cold again, just because it is so warm. But I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, you never know with me. I go through these spells. So I do have one that I can't... part of me wants to keep knitting it, part of me isn't sure. I know we talked about this pattern. It's the Arlequin Shawl by Peggy Maxime, something. I did start it. This pattern, I thought I had maybe this is it. The pattern was originally in French and has been translated, so some of the wording is a little off, but it's easy to decipher, so I don't know. But I started it using mini skeins from Rock and String, and I wound them up into one big cake just so it would be easy to knit with. And then I'm going to pair it with this from Loops. I'll get the tag out in a second. So it's going to be, I've already started. Now with this one, I think what you're supposed to do is start with a main color and then end in mini skeins. I wanted to use as many of the mini skeins as possible. So I started with that first, and then I'm just going to knit until I'm out of mini skeins and then do the border. I started knitting this because I wanted to knit something in honor of my aunt, and so I paired these together in honor of her. So I did a little bit of knitting on it, and then I decided that we all needed knitted hearts. So I knit a bunch of hearts, and Daniela from Caffeinated Crafting, Fru from Sassy Pants Knitter, and Mandy from We Are Yarn Podcast, they all crocheted hearts for us too, so we had more than enough hearts for everyone that came to the memorial service. And so I put this aside, and there's part of me that wants to rip it out, but I'm not sure. So I haven't decided yet. But like I said, this cake is all mini skeins from Rock and String, and they're so pretty. And then this cake is from Loops in the Hungarian Horntail colorway. I didn't bring this one with me, but I'm going to keep knitting on my sock yarn blanket. I know I just said that we won't use a blanket that's knit probably, but I still want that one. Like, that one will probably just be like a little lap blanket for me to use, you know, on the couch or whatever. That one's going to be one that I know I just keep knitting on until I'm satisfied with it. That one I do enjoy knitting, which is really funny because it's basically the hue shift Afghan, but it's just fingering weight yarn. So
that's memories of things you've knitted.
Mm-hmm.
It's your leftovers.
Yeah, so
it's kind of a combination of everything you've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is, you want to do that for me? It's the Shine Scarf by Janina. I can never pronounce her name, but I have added a little more onto it. So actually it's getting close to being done. I picked that up one day since the service. And the yarn is, it's in a Whimsy Stitches bag. Isn't that the cutest thing ever?
Oh, my last bag was my, this is also Whimsy Stitches.
It's AJHC Wools. It's Yak Socks in the Vertigo colorway. It's really pretty.
And I think this is my last one. It's a keep. I saved this one for last for a reason.
You saved that one for last?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the biggie. My sweater.
Oh, it's so pretty.
So, last time we podcasted, I was here. I've started the ribbing.
Cool, you go, Allie.
And I probably could technically be done with the ribbing, but I'm going to just keep knitting the ribbing until I am happy with it. I'd like it to be a little bit longer.
Yeah, I'd want mine to be a little longer.
And then I just have sleeves, and then it'll be ready to wear this fall.
It's very
so
pretty.
Yeah, this is definitely keep. This is the Granito pattern by Holy Locatelli. I feel like I have to go through my little spiel every time. This is knitting. Nope. This is Northbound Knitting in Mosaic colorway. The pops of colors are all Rock and String mini skeins. Most of them, if not all of them, don't have names. They're just mini skeins that I was gifted. The gray gradient is from Lydia Yarns in the Skylight something
like that.
I can't.
Seattle Sky.
See, maybe that's it. It has sky in it.
Yeah,
but that is definitely a keep. So
yeah, it's beautiful. Don't wait. Stop just a minute. I love these minis. I like the turquoise, but I really like this one.
Yeah, that's.
It's got the little colors, dark colors in it.
That's probably my favorite one too.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
And the rest of them are pretty solid, so it's kind of fun to have one that's a little bit more variegated.
Yeah.
So,
here's another one of my keep. It is my Brave at Heart. This is a Yowza skein from Miss Fabs, and it's just got warm, and I know I won't be wearing that till winter, so I haven't worked on it hardly any, but it is in the You Gotta Love Me colorway. I love that pattern. That's actually the second one of those I have knit.
Brave at Heart is by Lydia Brown. I don't usually reknit patterns.
Mm-hmm.
That one I've knit twice, and I'll probably knit it again.
Yeah.
And then the fluid sockhead beanie from Karen McCall. That's a go-to for me. So, is this your last one?
It is my last one, and it's one I'm actually working on. Worked on it today.
Yes, she did. It's very pretty.
This is
Robin.
Teeny Button, Robin from Teeny Button's yarn. Isn't that? Well, my needles have got all twisted and tangled since
we're super out of practice, but let's just be honest, we were
so
like
pretty.
this anyway.
Yeah, it's almost my colors. It's got turquoise in it, and it's got orange, and it is
We don't know how to pronounce it.
We don't know how to make it. Porchatron Beach or something. It's a New Orleans thing.
Punch.
Train. I think that's it. Yes. And the pattern is it's turquoise, aqua maybe. It's not real bright, but it's really pretty, and it's got orange and a lighter color.
It's very cute.
Isn't it cute? And then the pattern is a Lisa Much. It's auspice. Much. It's auspice. I love it.
Yeah.
Actually, you gonna do it to where it'll show? And then let's go up by show. This one shows the whole thing better. Right there. I can't wait to do those. excited to get it done.
That'll be very pretty.
Mm-hmm. Be very folly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm a folly person.
Aren't we all?
So that is it for me. There may be an item or two somewhere else started, but I'm going to work on some of these lighter weight ones, trying to get them done.
I'm just going to concentrate on my hat. It's just plain knitting for the most part, and I'm just going to try and get back into that groove of knitting.
Mm-hmm.
Just wanting to get back into crafting in general. So, things that I didn't bring that I've completed, I completed a bunch of those knitted hearts, and I completed a scarf, like I wove a scarf. So other than that, and I started, last time we podcasted, I had started spinning, but I haven't spun any since then, and I haven't wove any aside from that scarf, and I really want to, but I just haven't felt like setting it up, so.
Yeah.
But we can go into books.
I know.
I've been super into books. I've been doing probably too much retail therapy with my books, too.
Yeah, I'm done. Bought 2
All right.
yesterday.
I bought 2 yesterday, too, actually. And I didn't watch the last podcast to see what we talked about book-wise, so I might have already mentioned this. I know we talked about The Immortalist, but I don't think I'd finished it yet. I finished The Immortalist, loved it, loved it, loved it. I haven't got to sit down and write a review about it yet, though, because this has to do with death, and I just haven't felt like doing that just yet, but it will be happening. And just in case we didn't show this last time, where is it? I got it autographed at our book talk that we went to. So that's really cool.
I want to read it. I'm just going to have to wait a while.
Yeah, but I'm going to go ahead and give it to you. So whenever you're ready, you have it.
All right.
I also finished, and I didn't think to grab it for Mom, but I also finished The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn, who we also got to go see.
I've got one. I've got it over here.
Do you want to grab it, please?
Mm-hmm.
Who we also got to go see talk. And I loved the Chloe Benjamin talk. His talk was so good. He's so funny
wonderful
and personable, and he's a good PR guy.
Yeah. So, this one is autographed to both me and Allie.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
So to me, he said, thanks for reading, because I'd just finished it. And then to Mom, he said, enjoy. So I thought that was super cute of him to do.
Super cute.
Because we were just going to have it signed, and then he was like, well, sign it too. And we were like, well, it's going to be both our copies. So
Yeah. So I thought that's pretty cool. It's on my to-be-read list, which is growing.
Yes. I have the same problem. Other books that I finished Bite by K.S. Maribeth. That was that apocalyptic end of the world book that I'd been reading for a while. It was okay. Not my usual go-to for books, but I did enjoy it for that genre. I also finished Let Me Lie by Claire McIntosh. I liked this one a lot. I'm a big Claire McIntosh fan. She wrote I Let You Go and I See You.
Mm-hmm.
This is it's not her third book, but to me it's her third book because her other books aren't books that I would read. So to me it's her third book, but it's not, if that makes sense. Let Me Lie is about Anna, whose parents both committed suicide the previous year. Her dad committed suicide, and then 6 months later her mom committed suicide. But then on the anniversary of her mom's death, she gets a note saying, suicide, think again. So Anna she goes to the police. She's trying to find out, was this really a suicide? Were they murdered? Lots of family secrets, lots of secrets in general. It's not my favorite of the Claire McIntosh books. I liked it, but it took me about 100 or so pages to get into it. And honestly, I didn't like any character except for the detective. I didn't like Anna at all. I didn't root for her at all. I didn't like anyone but the detective guy, whose name was Murray. That's not why I liked him, though. That's just a coincidence, okay? It's just a coincidence. I actually didn't like that his name was Murray, because then all I could see was my dog. So... But I would say, especially if you like thrillers and stuff, it's a thriller, but it's not like a thriller. I don't know how to explain it other than that, but it's like a light thriller, maybe, Thriller Junior, something like that. But I did like it. I would recommend it, but I liked I See You and I Let You Go so much more. But if you are a fan of Claire McIntosh, I do think it's a good book to read. And then the last one I finished I just finished this the other day. The Bookshop on the Corner by Jenny Colgan. This is about a girl named Nina who works in a library, and she is like really, really good about like matching people's personalities to books. Books are her life, they're her whole life, and then she ends up losing her job. So she moves to somewhere in Scotland, I think. My geography skills are non-existent, and I just don't really remember off the top of my head, but I think it's like somewhere over there. It's really pretty. It sounds really pretty. And her dream was to open a bookmobile. So she moves there, she gets a van, she opens a bookstore. There's no bookstore in this little itty-bitty town, and it's about her, like, just growing as a person. That part's great. There's also a love story, and y'all know I don't really like romance books, and it's not a big part of the book, but those parts, I don't even want to say it's half, maybe a quarter of the book. Those parts really took me out of the story. I liked Nina a lot. I liked watching her, watching her grow, and I liked hearing about her, about the bus and how the books like really changed all these people's lives. I like that part. The romance I could have done without, but I think you read this author. She does the Cupcake Cafe, Little Beach Street Bakeries.
Little Beach Streets, yeah.
So, there
Wonderful.
you go.
Thank
and you
you
can keep that one. I don't want it back.
Okay. All right. So
that's all I've finished.
Okay. 2 of mine that I finished, I have already passed on to Laura. I'm just going to tell you the names of them. Not going to go into the storyline. They were both...
We're trying to keep this short.
Trying to keep it short.
Back into...
But we have discovered the Reese Witherspoon Book Club.
Hello,
Sunshine. And the first one, the February book, I guess it was The Light We Lost. I bought it for us. I read it. I liked it. Laura's got it for now. And then the March book, I was not as crazy about. It does have a good storyline. And when I took part of it out and just skipped over that, I liked it a little bit better. It's the erotic stories for Punjabi widows.
Yeah, I was actually very surprised that Mom bought this book. I'm just
because there are some erotic stories in there.
Yeah, and shocker.
Spoiler. Yes, spoiler. So if you're not into that, you may not. But the storyline in itself, I did like.
And so I'm gonna show this just because I love the cover. Y'all know I'm super into covers anyway, but look at that cover. Yeah, I want to read that one.
Yeah, Laura's got it, so
I'm good.
Yeah, I figured you were. So I finished both of those, and my favorite though has been. Okay, I'm a huge This Is Us fan.
I assume a lot of you are,
because
the majority of people watch this show.
Yes, so Kate. Chrissy Metz has a new book out that's called This Is Me Loving the Person.
This is one.
Well, let's stop it. This is me loving the person you are today. It is so good. She reads it, and I finished it, and I posted on her Instagram that I was listening to it, and she came back and she liked it, and it just it tickled me to death.
I love when authors respond or like a comment. It makes me so happy. I tag them all the time in my Bookstagram, on my Instagram for my books, and occasionally they'll actually like come, or the publisher will like it. I'm like, ooh, and it doesn't mean anything, but just the idea that they bothered and went click click makes me happy.
But it's Kate, it's Chrissy's journey to where she is now, so it's really good, and it is read by her. It's wonderful, and actually I am going to listen to it again because there's a lot of inspiration of how she overcame things and stuff in there. And then another one that I have listened to is a Danielle Steele Fall from Grace. It was really a good story. It's about a woman who is married to a very well-to-do man, and at the front of the book, when I was reading it, it talked about that Danielle Steele said she had seen this happen a few times, and that's kind of where the storyline came from. Her husband got killed in an accident, and he hadn't changed his will, so she was kind of out on her own and had to start life over again. It's really, really good. I liked it, and I was telling the girls, I'm a big James Patterson fan. You all know that. So I saw this book, and I had seen it before out, and it just did not click until yesterday. It's one of those that has multiple stories in it, and it's called The Family Lawyer, and that's what the first story was. And it was so good. And then yesterday on the way home, that daggum thing ended and started another one, and it was kind of like, oh, where'd that come from? What happened to my book? So I'm not real happy with that one right now. I don't know whether I'm going to finish it or not. So,
but I would give it another shot because it like you were taken away from it because you didn't know.
So blunt, yeah. It's just like, and it kind of like it wasn't even an introduction to the next one or anything. Mm-hmm. I mean, it just started reading the next story.
But I mean, that's how it is when you're physically reading it. Too. Like,
yeah,
they just read what's on the page.
Yeah, and go straight to it. Yeah. And so I guess we got our to be reads now.
Are currently reading.
Reading.
I'm going to go ahead and throw this one in. This is Lola by Melissa Scrivener Love. I received this from Library Thing last year as an advanced reader copy to read and review. I read about 40% of it and put it down. I decided to pick it back up. I've read about maybe a little bit over 50%. I talked to a couple people and I told them that have read it. And I said, I'm just really not feeling it, but I feel obligated to finish it. They basically told me that it's not worth reading. Oh. Like the ending's not gonna make me feel better for having put the work in. So I decided to DNF it. Do not put it on my did not finish list. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, because sometimes you might change. And then it's kind of funny because the Book of the Month Club came along and we didn't.
Mom joined Book of the Month.
I did.
So
I fell down the hole. So look what we have.
We both got the same book. I got 2 books. This is one of them.
Yes, so next time we're going to do better planning between the 3 of us. We're going to plan better.
Well, here's the thing. I ordered mine first.
I know you did, and I just didn't even think.
I ordered mine while we were waiting to go see Wicked.
Oh my God, yes. We got to see Wicked, y'all. It's so good.
We were standing outside waiting, and I was like, I got my email. And I went ahead and ordered my book. So y'all just weren't paying attention.
I wasn't paying attention.
You were too busy worrying about this play.
Yes, and I ran into my friend from my old job and had to have a love on each other moment. So, but this is good. Allison's
Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, Allison's in a little further than me. It's
not much further.
Yeah, Then She Was Gone. It's by Lisa Jewell, and it is. Here's what it says on the inside cover. Ellie Mack was the perfect daughter. She was 15, the youngest of 3. She was beloved by her parents, friends, and teachers. She and her boyfriend made a teenage golden couple. She was days away from an idyllic post-exam summer vacation with her whole life ahead of her, and then she was gone. Now her mother, Laurel Mack, is trying to put her life back together. It's been 10 years since her daughter disappeared, 7 years since her marriage ended, and only months since the last clue in Ellie's case was unearthed. So when she meets an unexpectedly charming man in a cafe, no one is more surprised than Laurel at how quickly their flirtation develops into something deeper. Before she knows it, she's meeting Floyd's daughters, and his youngest, Poppy, takes Laurel's breath away. Because looking at Poppy is like looking at Ellie. And now, the unanswered questions she's tried so hard to put to rest began haunting Laurel anew. Where did Ellie go? Did she run away from home, as the police have long suspected, or was there a more sinister reason for her disappearance? Who is Lloyd really, and why does his daughter remind Ellie so viscerally of her own missing girl?
So, yeah. Where I'm at, she just met Floyd.
Okay, she ain't met him yet.
She just met him.
Okay, so she's not met him, so I'm probably going to pile up and read this afternoon.
I'm in part 2. And, like, for my book blog, which I updated okay in March, not a whole lot, but a little bit better than I've been. I haven't done any posts for April yet, I don't think. But my thing for April was I was only going to read my advanced reader copies. I tried so hard to ignore this book, and I couldn't. So whenever I decided to do not finish the Lola book, I was like, well, I'm reading this book. I don't care. Look at that cover.
Reward yourself. I know it's gorgeous.
That cover, though. Like, these are my colors. I love this. See, I almost match.
You do almost match.
I almost match.
And that is almost, we have accent walls at work in our offices, and that is right about the same color as my accent wall.
I am still, I think I was listening to this last time we talked. I'm still listening to Interview with Vampire. I only listen to audiobooks in the car. I've mostly been listening to podcasts lately. And speaking of podcasts, Mom and I both love the Crime Writers On podcast. I joined their Patreon page.
I'm going to do that too.
If you don't know what Patreon is, you can download the app or you can do it from the website. But it is a way for you to support creators that you enjoy. So for me, I do $5 a month for all of these, but I do Crime Writers On, True Crime Obsessed, and then a guy on YouTube that Max and I both really enjoy. And I just do on the first of the month they take your money out through, I use PayPal, but they take the money out and then they divvy it up to whoever.
Oh, so cool.
But it's something I've been really wanting to do anyway, especially with Crime Writers On and True Crime Obsessed. And Crime Writers On, they're starting a book club. And to be part of the book club, you have to be a Patreon supporter. And I was like, okay, I signed up as soon as I learned. So I got this when we saw...
Oh, excuse me.
You're fine. I got this when we went to the Woman in the Window book talk. Funny story. I saw this in line and grabbed it while we were in line to get our book signed. They were looking for this book. It was the only copy they had. They were looking for this book because someone came in there wanting it. So I go up there and pay for it, and they're like, we were looking for that. And I kind of felt bad. But then I was like, I'm not giving it up. It did, unfortunately, have chocolate on it, so they gave me a discount. And I tried really hard to get that chocolate off, but it's not coming off. But that's okay. They do have copies of this at Books A Million now, though. I saw yesterday. But so this is Michelle McNamara. She was a true crime author. She passed away suddenly 2 years ago now. She was the wife of Patton Oswalt. This was the book she was working on when she passed away, and this was basically her life, like finding this killer. So what they did, they took what she had done. They used notes and people that she was working with. They helped kind of fill in the notes. And there's also a introduction from Gillian Flynn, and then Patton Oswalt does an afterwards. I'm not very far into it because everyone keeps talking about how scary it is, and I only read at night. And I'm so scared. I'm so scared of the idea of this book that I've only read a little bit of it. But I do want to pick this up a little bit more because I want to read this so I can listen to the podcast episode. And then I went ahead and got this book. I don't know what this is about. This is their next book. So I went and got it. But this says it's the 1920s. The richest people per capita in the world were members of the Osage, I think is what it is. Osage Nation in Oklahoma. After oil was discovered beneath their land, they rode in chauffeured cars and lived in mansions. Then one by one, the Osage began to be killed. Molly Burkhart watched as her family became a prime target. Her relatives were shot and poisoned. Other Osage were always dying under mysterious circumstances, and many of those who investigated the crimes were themselves murdered. As the death toll rose, the case was taken up by the newly created FBI and its young secretive director, J. Edgar Hoover. Struggling to crack the mystery, Hoover turned to a former Texas Ranger named Tom White, who put together an undercover team, including a Native American agent. They infiltrated this last remnant of the Wild West, and together with the Osage began to expose one of the most chilling conspiracies in American history. I can't wait to read this.
That sounds really, really good.
I'll send it your way.
Oh, it's got pictures too.
I had a hard time finding this at Books A Million, but when I found it, they had this and they had a hardback copy. So I was like, well, that's good. They actually had it. It just wasn't where I thought it would be. So it seemed to be in true crime, but it was in American history, which made sense.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But, I didn't know what it was about at the time. I literally was just going to buy the book without even reading what it was about. Because I was like, yes. Whatever Toby Ball tells me to read, I'm going to read. Because I'm totally a Toby Ball fangirl.
Yeah, I'm a big Toby Ball fan, too.
He's the one of the crime writers that's going to be leading the book club. So
Yes. So, my to-be-reads, and I'm only reading on Then She Was Gone. But these two are Reese Witherspoon picks. But I got this one because, is it Reese Witherspoon and her, the author, are teaming up to do like a series or something
Hulu.
Like Little Big Lies on Hulu. So this one is in Shaker Heights, a placid, progressive suburb of Cleveland. Everything is planned, from the layout of the winding roads to the colors of the houses to the successful lives its residents will go on to lead. And no one embodies this spirit more than Alina Richardson, whose guiding principle is playing by the rules. Enter Mia Warren, an enigmatic artist and single mother who arrives in this idyllic bubble with her teenage daughter Pearl and rents a house from the Richardsons. Soon Mia and Pearl become more than tenants. All four Richardson children are drawn to the mother-daughter pair, but Mia carries with her a mysterious past and a disregard for the status quo that threatens to upend this carefully ordered community. When old family friends of the Richardsons attempt to adopt a Chinese-American baby, a custody battle erupts that dramatically divides the town and puts Mia and Elena on both opposite sides. So, that's...
And I haven't read that one, but I've heard only good things about it. So that is one that's on my list. Sorry, I was falling off the couch.
I have them. And then this one is a memoir.
And this is the current.
This is the current one. And I thought it sounded good, so I wanted to read it. So I went ahead and got it. Its happiness begins with a charming courtship between hopelessly attracted opposites Heather, a world-roaming California gal, and improviser, and Brian, an intellectual homebody writer, loath to leave his Upper West Side studio, whose sly humor and kindness dissolve their differences. Their magical interlude ends full stop when Heather becomes pregnant. Brian is sure he loves her. If I wanted to have kids with anyone, it would be with you. Only he doesn't want kids. Heather returns to California to deliver their daughter alone, buoyed by a tribe of family and friends. Shortly after Gracie's arrival, Heather's new mom's bliss is interrupted by a nurse who appears bedside at dawn. Get up, get dressed, your baby is in trouble. This is not how Heather had imagined new motherhood, alone and heartsick and unexpectedly solo caretaker of a baby, though she smelled like sliced apple and salted pretzels, is perhaps perilously sick. Brian reappears as Gracie's condition grows more dim. Together they have to decide how much they're willing to risk to ensure their girl sees adulthood. The grace and humor that ripple through Heather Hartman's writing transform the dross of heartbreak and parental fears into something precious, a clear-eyed, warm-hearted view of the world as we truly live in it. So I thought that it just sounds good. Mm-hmm. It's probably going to be a sad one.
Oh, I'm sure.
Then yesterday, well, it's, okay.
You got a couple. I didn't bring any books that I bought, aside from that one. I bought a lot of books.
Okay.
Do I need to?
So maybe we need, have we talked about this one?
I don't think so, because I didn't even know you had that.
Okay, this was last month's.
Yeah.
Book. This was last month's Book of the Month Club. Not that I could tell.
What did I get last month?
I don't know.
Oh, I remember what I got last month.
Everyone knows something about everyone else in the quirky small Ohio town of Yellow Springs, but no one can make sense of the disappearance of... Kristen was a sociable twin mom, college administrator, and doctor's wife who didn't seem all that bothered by her impending divorce, and the investigation turns up more questions than answers with her husband, Paul, at the center. For her closest neighbor, Claire, the incident triggers memories she thought she'd put behind her, and when she's unable to extract herself from the widening circle of scrutiny, her own suspicions quickly grow. But the neighborhood's newest addition, Izzy, is determined not to jump to any conclusions, especially since she's dealing with a crisis of her own. As the police investigation goes from a media circus to a cold case, the neighbors are forced to re-examine what's going on behind their own closed doors and to ask how well anyone really knows anyone else. I thought that just sounded really good.
Yeah, that was one that I thought about getting, but I got The Last Equation of Isaac Severy.
Oh, that's instead. Right.
So it's like a...
What's his name?
I don't know.
Oh, we both read it last year.
Oh, The Storied Lives of A.J. Filcree. It said that it was, like, for fans of that, and so that's what made me pick that one. But it's like I don't want to compare it to it, because I don't think it's like that. But, like with the Da Vinci Code, it had all these clues you're trying to figure out. Like, I think it's kind of similar like that. Like, it's this mathematician who passes away, but he has, like, this secret formula, and so he's leaving clues for, I think it was his granddaughter, maybe, to kind of find out, but there's also, like, that secret society is trying to find the formula before her. So it sounds really good. I have so many books that sound really good that I need to read. I need to quit my job and read, and then
be nice if it paid.
Yeah. We went in the wrong business.
Yeah, we can read books for people.
We should have went to publishing.
So I went to the Target yesterday. I haven't got to go to the Target for a while, Allie.
I never get to go.
So that's where I got the Little Fires Everywhere book. And then as I was walking on out of the aisle, I saw, the little sale tag. And this one, it said $6 and something. And I thought, oh, that just sounds good. So I got The Girl Who Was Taken. And it's by Charlie Donnelly. And it just sounds so good. 2 abducted girls, one who returns, one who doesn't. The night they go missing, high school seniors Nicole Cuddy and Megan McDonald are at a beach party in their small town of Emerson Bay, North Carolina. Police launch a massive search, but hope is almost lost until Megan escapes from a bunker deep in the woods. A year later, the best-selling account of her ordeal has made Megan a celebrity. It's a triumphant story, except for one inconvenient detail: Nicole is still missing. Nicole's older sister, Olivia, a fellow forensic pathology expects that one day soon Nicole's body will be found and her sister's fate determined. Instead, the first clue comes from another body, that of a young man connected to Nicole's past. Livia reaches out to Megan to learn more about that fateful night. Other girls have disappeared, and she's increasingly sure the cases are connected. Megan knows more than she revealed in her book. Flashes of memory are pointing to something more monstrous than she described, and the deeper she and Livia dig, the more they realize that sometimes true terror lies in finding exactly what you've been looking for. It just sounded so good. It just made its way to the cart. It flew off that shelf and into that cart.
It happens.
So, that's kind of what's been on. That's my to-dos.
So that's us just trying to get back into it. So I just dripped everything all over me. That's great. Oh, other side. So I guess we're going to try and go back to the 2-week thing. I know 2 weeks from now I'm going to be getting my hair done, though, so.
It might be 3 weeks.
So we might just let this one be our one for April.
And start in May.
Kind of fresh in May. And it'll give us time to kind of get some more content for everybody and everything. So, but we are hoping to get back into our regular routine. Thank you guys for continuing to do the hats for kiddos, even though we haven't been promoting it this way. I've been still doing the threads, and I've still been, giving away patterns and stuff. And we, there hasn't been as much participation. That's fine. That's fine. I just want to thank you guys for continuing on, basically without us. Our April theme is weather. So. However you want to interpret that, a pattern that has some kind of weather in the name, or colorway that has weather in the name, or a colorway that looks like a sunny sky,
or a stormy day,
whatever. We're not
sunrise, sunset.
We're not like super sticklers with this, so whatever makes you guys think of weather in one way or another. I tried to do a bundle because I haven't done one in a while, but I wasn't really liking the patterns I was finding. I didn't really have as much time to do that then as I thought I had. I think I was just trying to distract myself from doing other things that I needed to do. So, but there are patterns like that have like sunny in the title, fall, whatever. It doesn't matter. I guess fall's not a weather.
Just appreciate that you all knit them. We love you guys for knitting them, and we're getting back on track.
Yes. So I'm going to use the rest of this month to kind of get my knitting mojo back up. That way in May I can start knitting a bunch of hats.
Yeah, that's my goal.
Hopefully. We'll see. I say these things and then I don't do them. So let's see. Well, I'll try and do better though, because I do want my hats for kiddos knit up. So, yeah, we'll plan on recording maybe that first weekend in May. So you guys will see us in a few weeks then. But thank you guys again. I can't thank you guys enough for being so patient, and you guys checking on us, and the nice words you sent us. So.
Yes, we appreciate them so much, and we love you all, and we've just been trying to get life back together.
Yeah. So, but we'll see you guys soon.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.